from in the comments.
Oh, yay. And we're live here too.
I
Look
love
at us.
it. Love
We're
it.
just at live everywhere apparently today. Thank you.
We're live everywhere.
um, I'm so excited that we're connecting. Oh my gosh, we got a chance to go on the voyage of empowerment together.
Yes, we did.
And you have some exciting stuff coming up, and we didn't get the chance to have a pre-conversation before the voyage of empowerment. So I thought, wow, this sounds like a really great opportunity to bring some of our followers together, some of your followers together, and then be able to talk a little bit about empowerment and wellness. And
Yeah.
so here we are.
Absolutely. I mean, we had so much fun on the voyage. Like, can we just talk about that for a minute?
Yes.
It was the best time ever. Ashley, show your pink microphone.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So
Let's hear.
this microphone was pretty much like the staple of the entire trip. And there's something about being with so many like-minded people and then getting to talk about these like really important topics of empowerment and wellness and just how you lead better in this world. And when you have all those different pieces together, it's like you feel unstoppable.
Everything is unstoppable.
Absolutely, especially with the pink microphone.
Especially if it's a sparkly pink microphone too.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I had an amazing time and just had the opportunity to learn so much from you about empowering differences. And I feel like it's really, shifted and changed my work as well and how I think about what I'm doing. And I think just how you speak about empowerment is something that everyone needs to hear. And I know many of my followers may not know you yet. And I would love for you to just like touch on it and share a little bit because it's powerful and it's changed my life and it's changed so many others' lives as well.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, I did about 8 years worth of research on empowerment and how empowerment is impacted by the differences that we have as a human. I asked 3 questions globally to more than 1,000 people, and I asked them, what is empowerment to them? The reason I asked them that was to get at really what do they actually feel it was. And people were constantly telling me that empowerment was hard to measure, track, and judge. And so I wanted to be able to build something that would help people measure and track and judge and keep track and memorialize and benchmark their own empowerment. And so that's why we built a technology scale, 0 for disempowered, 100 for empowered, so we could actually measure the journey that people take. And then the second question I asked them was, what about them is limiting their ability to have more empowerment? And that's where we landed on the 10 empowering differences. So our physical abilities and attributes, our age, our social economic class, our education, ethnicity, gender, language, race, religion, and sexuality being these top 10 differences. Each one impacts us differently based on where we are in the world and what we're doing and what we have access to. So then the last question I asked people around the world was, what do you do to drive empowerment for people, yourself included sometimes? And so those answers went across all of the 10 empowering actions. And so that's how we came up with the 10 empowering differences. 10 empowering actions are the leadership actions that people do to impact others. And I know that together, right, we connected to have an empowerment conference on a cruise ship, which was an amazing time by all.
Yeah.
And we talked about the 10 actions throughout all of our time together. And each session was specifically curated to make that connection for those actions so people could keep track of their empowerment. They know that it impacts the differences and they know that they do these actions to impact people. And that's the center of what empowering differences really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And it ties into wellness so much because when you take care of yourself and you're in community and you're with people that genuinely support you, it makes all the things of leading and having resources more accessible. It really that's the root of it, you know, and how we do that is by taking care of ourselves, but also being in community. And I think Coming Out Happy, for those of you that aren't familiar or don't know Coming Out Happy, it's an LGBTQ plus wellness company. I think we're echoing a little bit. Are we? Hopefully everyone can hear us okay. Let us know in the comments if you can hear us okay. I'm going to put this over here just so it stays a little bit further away. But yeah, I think it's really important to focus on wellness in order to have that. And Coming Out Happy, that's all we've done. We've helped thousands of queer adults all around the world take better care of themselves, come back into their own bodies, feel more secure in who they are, so that they can go out and really impact in the ways that they want and that they know, and how they know they can. They just haven't had the resources or haven't been able to. So when we tie empowerment to wellness, it's a game changer. And you can link those two and really understand it for yourself. So, I mean, I'd love for people that are here listening to start thinking about it. Like, what ways do you currently drive empowerment for yourself in regards to wellness? How do you take care of yourself in order to lift others up? How do you support yourself in the daily? You know, what are some daily actions that you take? And maybe Ashley, we can share for ourselves to better support and maybe give ideas. I know for me, like, I really have to make time for myself. I have to have an hour before I ever go out and do anything else to myself, to write things down, to get clear up here, to understand, you know, what I'm working through, to check in on my actual emotions and feelings. And that can be as simple as asking the question, what do I need today? And actually listening to your needs. And that's a practice and a journey of really getting to understand that. But I
Yeah.
think the wellness world, like, it gets so complicated, and it's so it's looked at in such a way that it seems like you have to have money, you have to, like, it's so
There's
glamorized.
a lot of misconceptions too. It's almost like,
100%.
I don't know, the best analogy I have for wellness in our world is, if anybody's watching and you've seen the movie The Matrix, Matrix One, and like Neo's on the roof after breaking through the government building, right, with all the agents and everything, and just going to rescue Morpheus, and he's on the roof, and then the agent starts firing the bullets right at him, and then he figures out that he can move to dodge all the bullets at that time, and has like super speed ability, and then he's like dodging all the bullets are all flying at him. He's moving and didn't even know he could move like that, right? And then Trinity says, "Oh, you move like they do."
Right.
And he's like, "Apparently not fast enough."
Yeah. Right, right. And
Like,
I think it's all about, like,
all the ability to move that quickly all along, right? It's definitely an analogy for the rest of our world, because it all started with you. You all have the ability to do anything that you want to accomplish. And that's the thing that I've uncovered so much around this empowerment journey, and helping people understand empowerment is all about step one.
yeah.
And step one is to know yourself. That's the number one most, if you could only do one of the four steps, just get to know yourself.
Yeah.
Um, so I created an empowerment self-assessment platform to help people do this. And there's 21 open-ended questions. You can download them for free right from my website at empoweringdifferences.com. And it's there that you can actually connect with this self-assessment, and it's going to hopefully help you to come to the realization that you can do anything that you want to do,
Yeah.
right? And you can execute the self-assessment. And one of the big things that I found from garnering where you exist in relation to your own empowerment, what it means to you, but how is it impacting by your differences? These are why we created these questions, was to gather this together for you, to let you do it. Like, that's the secret, is letting you figure out what is empowerment to you, and memorializing by
Yeah.
writing it down and dating it for what day that you start this journey.
Yeah.
then you can be ready to connect and know where you stand on wellness. You can do all those things in that moment because you
Right.
memorialized it.
Right. And I think something that's so important is, especially as queer individuals or people from marginalized communities, is looking at wellness from this anti-oppressive lens. And when you actually know that where you are on your own empowerment journey, what tends to happen is you can actually go a little bit deeper within and say, okay, how is this showing up for me? And where do I hold these different identities? And what do they mean to me? And how can I use them for good? And maybe how can I work on this and cultivate a little bit more empathy or whatever it may be, right? To grow and thrive into the person that I want to become while making this world a better place. So, knowing and taking that assessment that Ashley just put up, or going to empoweringdifferences.com for more, to take the quiz is really, really helpful. And all the work that we do together, whether that's us going on the voyage together and being able to create an experience like that, or what we're having coming up, our winter queer camp for leaders and entrepreneurs, is to cultivate even more of that, is to cultivate you as an individual and understanding your own empowerment journey and your skills that you have, but also how can you use your community that wants to support and uplift you and is like-minded and wants to have change in the world as well, to help amplify what you're doing. And I think our society gets so stuck on just being so individualistic, and that can be where we all go wrong, is that we need that community more than ever. And attending something like the Queer Coming Out Happy Winter Camp is where you can find that community, where you can build these authentic relationships and actually learn more about yourself. Because when you do, you realize that we're mirroring each other. And
Mhm.
actually, you're teaching me something that maybe I wasn't able to see by just sitting here myself. Another important piece that I'll bring up that a lot of people don't recognize and know is that we heal in community. We really heal in community, because when I'm here alone, right, and it's great, we have to do our own work on ourselves and we have to sit with our emotions, we have to understand what we need. But when I'm sitting here by myself, right, and let's just say no one's in the room with me, I'm not going to fully let my guard down. Why? Because I'm thinking, is there someone that may come in, right? I don't fully trust. But if you have a community and you're working on healing, that's a part of it. You have to be in relationship with people. You know that someone's there holding the space for you. You can let your guard down in order to process, release, and move through whatever it is that you're going through. So this is all important as you develop yourself as a leader and continue to create and focus on where you want to go.
Yeah. This totally, I love how the conversation is just flowing because literally this is why step two is to know others.
Yeah.
And knowing others means you have to put yourself in these spaces. This is why you said yes to coming on the voyage of empowerment, like at the 11th hour, right? Like, I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. And
uh,
you jump on things like, was I scared? Yeah. I was, I mean, even though I'm an outgoing person, I was nervous, right? And there's a lot of people that are nervous or hesitant to join something like this because it's like, oh, I don't know anyone.
yeah.
Neither did I. Neither
And,
did you.
and then you got to meet the microphone,
Yeah.
and then the microphone went to Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And I think that that's the start of you, working to really find a lot of amazing sponsors for your programs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that that's like we were so meant to be connected for that reason, but for so many more reasons, right? It's like, but if for people that are thinking that you want to be connected with people who are going to drive empowerment for others, the camp is definitely where you should be. If you're available, you should figure out a way to get there.
Yeah.
I know we put I put the QR code on the
Right.
screen, and I know a bunch of people have already scanned it, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
If
Definitely.
if you're participating with the event today, you can go to the chat. You can execute the in the chat. You can tell us what you're thinking. We would love to hear from you in that space. But I think about this a camp like this, right? And obviously it's a queer camp and we want you to have queer people, but if someone is not queer, should they come to the camp if
You
they're
know,
an ally?
that's a really great question. So, we are working on developing different kinds of experiences. And I think that and this is an important conversation, right? There's a time and place for affinity groups where it's just queer people. And then there's also a time and place where it's very important to have queer people and allies. Because in order to move forward and really liberate all of us, we need to be together. We need to be working together. Specifically for this one, the queer camp, it is just for queer individuals if you identify. But that doesn't mean that the mindful mixers that we have, some of the other events that we have, those are for allies as well. And we do a lot of that, like leadership and connection and teaching part to really bring it all together. So this one, if you are an ally and you want to support the camp, all resources, you'll see if you actually scan the link and you want to donate to the camp, you can scan and you can support, and it goes to our queer, trans, BIPOC scholarships that we have. It goes to resources, expenses, to make this all happen. I think something really cool about Coming Out Happy is that it's all self-funded. We really rely on the community and us coming together to empower each other to make it happen. As we all know, it also can be really challenging as a marginalized business to have funding, sponsors, support for something like this, because people don't always see the proof or how it affects the bottom line. And that's a real conversation. So having spaces like this for queer individuals is very important. I know we have amazing people, especially we have some of our counselors actually are from the Voyage, which are connected to Ashley, which is amazing. And it just shows that having one connection can lead to so many more. And you can really amplify your own well-being, your own empowerment, your own leadership when you just make that leap and you connect and you join these different events that are available.
Yeah.
But
Well,
what was that?
yeah, and you mentioned, the a really big point here is that your empowerment, right? And so being the empowerment lady, I feel like every time I say that, I almost have to grab this wherever it is. Uh, being the empowerment lady, I didn't just become the empowerment lady. I did 8 years worth of research, right? And the biggest thing that we found though is that empowerment's the definition of empowerment, which is authority and power connected to people. That's the definition. All right. So I can tell you based on my research, 85% of what is empowerment to people around the world is all emotionally driven things that connect to your own wellness, in your own mindfulness, in your own framing, in your own breathing, in your own health. All of those things are 85% about really what is empowerment. Because when I asked people around the world what is empowerment, they told me it was empathy, communication, validation, trust, understanding, a free mom hug. They told me it was all of these things about how they could be an amazing human on the planet. And then 15% of the people told me that it was things that were related to some sort of either time or money related thing that was probably driving their emotions as well.
Right.
So, in the world of what is empowerment, know that you're really in control of pretty much all of the empowerment. It's just the societal driven crap that gets in the way, or it's your own perceived notion that exists that sometimes doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part about this. That's
Right.
why this work is so important. That's why you should be working on your wellness and on your own empowerment in
Yeah.
this framework.
Absolutely. Ashley, when it comes to the societal and the systems of oppression, what are ways that we can like come together to really support and empower more individuals when it comes to the actual systems of oppression that try to stop and block empowerment?
Yeah. So I think, I'll give you it on two ends. One is on the differences. The differences matter. Every single person on the planet has all of the 10 empowering differences. Just some people are more empowered than others, right? And so just know that out of all the differences that live in the world, education and language are the two that you control the most of as a human. your differences. And those two can be the fastest way that you can create systemic change to impact other people is through education and language.
Mm.
But then on the flip side, if you're thinking about what actions you should be doing, obviously you should do them all 10 empowering actions.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to focus on the ones that are going to impact people who are marginalized the most, then you should be focusing probably on access, okay, as an action, and then education as well as the action. Those are probably going to be your top two actions to impact others. And if you can actually execute education in the way at which it makes it most empowering, which is obviously teaching yourself something, but at the same time making sure that other people have learned what you've learned. And then an example of providing access for someone is to removing a barrier point of existence. You know, we talked about this with the scholarships from the Voyage of Empowerment, right? It's expensive to bring someone on a cruise ship for a leadership conference. But at the end of the day, if I create a leadership conference or an opportunity for empowerment of people, and there's not a pathway for everyone potentially to be there in an equitable society where they can submit a submission and say why they need to be there and what they're going to do with this experience, then I'm failing what I actually stand for.
Yeah, absolutely. And having the spaces where everyone comes together in those rooms is very important. Everyone gets a seat at the table.
Yeah, exactly.
And it makes the experience 100% different and better in all ways.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I've learned so much from you, Ashley, and you are so empowering in every single way. And I'm just excited that we've connected and like are continuing this work together and just supporting. I think when it comes down to it, you want to find people that have the same mission and goals of wanting to make this world a better place and really just not wanting people to be alone, not wanting them to feel alone, wanting them to know that they have support. And we drive that home in everything that we do. I know this is what we live, eat, and breathe all day long. So to us, we could say the word empowerment probably 100 times a day. Through all our conversations, sometimes I want to count how many times I'm saying it.
Yeah.
But it's
one
really
of my best friends, she was like, okay, you're going to come to my birthday party, but can you limit the amount of times you say the word empowerment? I was like, I don't know if I can do that. I'm going to try my best. How about I'll just try to focus on letting my actions do all the empowering discussions.
I love it. Yeah, right? There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. And we also, for the Coming Out Happy winter camp, we do have 2 queer, trans, BIPOC scholarships available that are 100% covered by Coming Out Happy. So please apply, send us a message, like anything that we can do to get you there, let's get you there. And if it is something that you're, struggling, have a conversation with me. Let's figure out how we can support you. That's really important to us at Coming Out Happy, and we want you there more than anything. So definitely stay tuned. I know Ashley and I are going to be doing a lot more together. It just seems that once we have one thing, we have a million more. So I'm really excited about our connections, our conversations, and I'll never forget the voyage with you, Ashley. I was standing, and to paint the picture for everybody, we were on top of this cruise ship, and I was leading with one of my other companies called Feel Swell Experiences. We were leading this connection facilitated activity. And Ashley and I brought this string because it was part of my activity. And Ashley's all tied up in the middle of the string, and we're working so seamlessly as she's stepping over all the string. And it seemed like we've known each other and worked together for years. So such a beautiful experience, and truly.
We were on a helicopter pad.
And we were on a helicopter pad. So wind's blowing, and we've got the pink microphone. We will definitely share some pictures because you'll want to see that. But it's been seriously life-changing to know you and have you in my life. So I'm really excited about what we'll do together and how we'll continue to grow.
And you're getting your business certified, right?
Yes. I'm working on all of the things. Yes.
I just got my business certification renewed for Disability In.
Oh, nice.
Which I'm pretty excited about. So now I'm certified there for three more years, which is really exciting. that I don't have to do it every year. But
Right.
um,
Very cool.
and so my business is now triple certified.
Triple, I love it. No, the more the merrier. It's
Triple
great.
threat.
What? Triple threat?
Triple threat, yes.
I love it. Awesome.
um, no, this has been fantastic. I'm really glad that I had the chance to meet your followers on on Instagram. So hey, if you're out there watching Instagram, it's really great to connect with you. And I know that the camp is coming up. So when is the camp? Why don't you tell everyone the dates?
So the Queer Winter Camp is December 8th through the 10th. Again, it's for leaders, entrepreneurs, queer professionals to come and really reset, recharge, to understand more about their own leadership style, to connect with like-minded individuals, to be creative, to tap into that creative side, to play again, to have fun, and also to learn how to connect with others that maybe you've never met before, and be in that environment that helps us grow so much. That way you can take this back to your interpersonal relationships, your work relationships, all over, and teach what you've learned, but also just show up better and have more capacity, more space. And I think as busy people, we forget how much time we really need to reset. So yeah, this is a really an amazing opportunity, and it's December 8th through the 10th. Again, just scan the link, the QR code there, or you can send me a message on Instagram if you're on Instagram, and we can hop on a call together and I can answer all of your questions about flights and when to come in and all the details.
Yes, and where to
Yes,
go.
exactly. Yeah,
And
and where to go, where to be
you're
at the
in
right.
Arizona, right?
It's in Arizona. A lot of people have asked me this, and Ashley, I think you'll really like this answer because we've talked about it a lot. But people have asked me, like, why would you host this camp in Arizona with it being, more of a red state? And, why would it be here? And really, the reason is we need more visibility in the places that there's not visibility. So we are going somewhere where we can impact the local community, we can show up, and we can also serve the people that are in that state, because queer people don't just disappear when there's more that where it's not aligned politically. We're still in these different spaces and we still need to show up for each other. So that is one of the reasons why we're going to Arizona.
It's 100% the reason to be in a state where people think you shouldn't be,
Yeah,
because that's 100% of the reason why they don't want you there.
exactly. They want us gone. So, and
Yeah.
we were in Bermuda together.
Yes,
So,
we were. Oh boy.
yeah, we were. And it's really important to show up and still be visible. We're not gonna let
We
them
hiked
erase.
those 2 miles together.
Yeah, yeah.
Glass Beach, didn't we?
We'll have to tell that story another time because that is one story for the books. We hiked and it was the most amazing night ever.
It really was.
It
It
was so
really
cool.
was.
You have to come on the voyage, everyone. You have to be a part of this experience and come to camp
Maybe
and some
I can
experience.
tell you, the Voyage of Empowerment next
Mhm.
year is going to be in November or December. We're
Amazing.
working on finalizing the dates and the cruise line partner, because I'm a free agent. So
I love
there's that.
I
Um,
love it.
but yeah, we're talking to a few of the cruise lines. We're going to see who wants us the most, right? Because we have to have this
Yes, it's
partnership.
very important, right? We
Yeah.
have to have it. I'll be there, so make sure you go. It was so cool, actually. We were on the cruise, and Ashley, this was so kind and generous of you. And I love that you did this. We were on the cruise, and I had been posting about it on Coming Out Happy here that I was on this cruise and I was here for the Voyage of Empowerment, and someone that was following was actually also on the cruise. And Ashley invited them in and gave them a full access pass to everything. They sat with us each day, and it was just really cool to like open that up and have our worlds collide before we even knew they were going to.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, a funny story, one of the people who was a conference attendee of this year's conference was someone that was on the ship by accident. There are no accidents, by the way.
Yeah.
They were on the ship by accident last year. So then
Yeah.
they became an attendee this year.
Oh yeah, we wore our badges. We had the Voyage of Empowerment all over. We wanted people to know who we were.
Yes. Yes, we did that.
Yeah, I love
Um,
it.
so I know that our time is wrapping up.
Mhm.
Any parting thoughts that you want to share for any of our followers on the various platforms, since we're on all the platforms right now?
I would say, if I could say anything today, check in with yourself, see what it is that you need, see how you're feeling, and take that time, because more than anything, that's the best that we can do every single day is show up and ask ourselves that question and really tend to those needs. And sometimes we don't want to do the things that make us feel better, but we have to do opposite action and do those things because it really helps us. And just getting into a practice of always asking yourself how you are, because this is the longest relationship you've ever had, right here, sitting with you, listening to this today. And if you can check in with it, it's really going to serve you in the long run. So just check in with yourself. And again, if you have any questions, you want to chat, you have ideas or things that came up for you after our discussion today, send us a message. You can send Ashley a message. You can send me a message. Like, we're here for you. We're here to support you. And I think we're two of the most, like, we just love listening. We love listening. We love being there for people. And we really love showing up for people. So we got you.
Yes, I love it. It kind of reminds me of my closing thoughts too, which is step 3, develop your strategy. So if you need help building your own empowerment strategy, please reach out to me, because we'll send you the empowerment assessment. It only takes 90 seconds. You measure your 10 empowering differences, and then you'll get step 4, which is the 10 empowering actions, but you'll get them all prioritized for you automatically through our platform. You'll get the ones that you should do for self-empowerment, and you'll get the ones that you should do for driving empowerment of others. And that'll connect you on this journey to be ready for the coming happy queer winter camp. Right?
Say it one more time. It's a tongue twister.
Yes, the coming out happy queer winter camp in December. You won't want to miss it. I have some amazing empowering friends that are going to be there, so you should be there too, because you'll be connected in our sphere for forever.
Yes, for forever. Forever. Once you're in the world of empowering differences or coming out happy, sorry, you're in for life. We got your back.
We got you. We got you. But no, in all seriousness, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to have you on board in both ways. I love the the cruise line has so many fun things you can
Let's
say.
just anchor in.
Yeah, we're anchoring. Yes. We're gonna embark on a journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I love it. No, but thank you so much. This was fantastic, and I'm excited to stay connected more.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all for listening. I promise I don't always sound like this. I usually sound a lot more clear. And yeah, I appreciate you so much, Ashley. So yes, thank you all so much for tuning in.
Awesome.